in which things start to get difficult. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, welcome back for more of Let's Play Mario Kart Super Circuit. Last time we took on the Star Cup, and today we'll be heading to the Extra Star Cup. Remember Vanilla Lake? No, you will now. This particular kind of track is notorious for one thing and one thing only. These blocks. I didn't hit them, so it may be difficult to tell that they're there because they kind of blend in with the snow in the background. But they're just like the ones that were in Ghost Valley. If you hit them, they disappear, and they tend to get in your way. A lot. And you'll also notice that the CPUs tend not to hit very many of them. Now, it also feels like the star doesn't have off-road physics, so if you go off-road with it, or even if you're sliding on ice, it tends not to notice that you're on ice. So that's a nice thing. But yeah, there's a case of Peach in second place getting a star, and her speed doesn't really seem to be affected by it. I'm not complaining about the fact that CPUs tend not to go faster when they have a star, but it's just kind of weird that you would think they would give the CPUs every single opportunity to be better than you, especially when it's a legitimate reason. I mean, if you have a star, you should be going faster. But for some reason, CPUs don't seem to go much faster with the star. That could just be me. Or maybe they do in the 150cc engine class, I'm not sure. Just always stuck out to me that the stars in this game don't seem to make the CPUs go any faster. And one thing I haven't mentioned about this game yet is its multiplayer. Now, of course, this is before Wi-Fi and any of that nonsense. I mean, I don't know if we had wireless internet at the time this game came out. But it did have multiplayer. If you're able to connect your GBA with somebody else's GBA. If they had a game cartridge as well, so you connected two GBAs that both had a game, then you had a decent amount of multiplayer stuff that you could do. But you could also do a nerfed version of multiplayer with specific characters and only a select number of courses if you only had one game cartridge, but you had multiple Game Boy Advances you could use. I'm not sure how many other games did that, where even if you didn't have the game cartridge, you could do multiplayer with somebody who did. Maybe there were other games that did that. Like I said, this was the only Game Boy Advance cartridge I actually own, so I don't really know the capability in terms of other games, what they were able to do with multiplayer, if many of them did. But at least with this one, you could do multiplayer even if you didn't have the cartridge for it, which is a really nifty thing. I mean, you think about a lot of games nowadays where you absolutely need to have the game if you want to do the multiplayer for it. In fact, it's very rare that you're able to find a game where you don't. But it's a kind of nifty idea. The multiplayer was fun. I remember doing it with a couple of my friends back in the day, but never really too much. I mean, we still liked Mario Kart 64 more than we did this. Is that necessarily true? Because I don't remember whether or not we would do that by the time this game came out. I imagine we did. There were a couple of instances where we did play multiplayer with this game. It's just not very often that that happened. It's kind of nifty to try, though. I mean, you take it for granted nowadays where so many games have online multiplayer. And we complain about how terrible it is, but in this day and age where you actually had to physically connect your games to each other in order to play multiplayer, you really gain an appreciation for what we have now. However much other opponents around the world suck, it does give you an appreciation for what we had to deal with before, and what we have access to now. But something I can't believe I didn't point out until now, I guess because the SNES courses don't do it. That's really weird. I thought they did, at least for the new courses. Whenever you approach a turn, the game will come up with a sign telling you what direction to turn. So if it's a U-turn, it'll show you U-turn. If it's a left turn, longitude will show you to turn left. And For whatever reason, they don't happen in the SNES courses, and I never really picked up on that. So it's a kind of stupid thing for me to point out now when it isn't really relevant. So I'm not sure why I did. Maybe not seeing it kind of threw me off, where I wanted to talk about it, and then I see that it's not here, and it's really weird. Now, where's the best place to use this star? Because I don't think there's any nice place to take a shortcut with it like there are in some of the other Mario Circuit courses. I guess this one's one of them. It's very infrequently that I'll have a star or a mushroom to use on this course, so it doesn't occur to me to take a shortcut around. And the 4 colors that you saw me flash with the star, the red, the yellow, the blue, and the green, those are the 4 colors of the Yoshis that you would have if you did the restricted multiplayer for this game. At least from what I remember. I think you were restricted to 4 specific colors of Yoshi. And it's one of the rare instances in a Mario Kart game where you have multiple colors of a character. I don't know when else that came into play. At least in none of the games that I own. Maybe there are a couple of them that it did, and I'm just not thinking of, but at least none of the games that I own. And I think this is going to finally be a course where Peach beats me. Or maybe she did before, and I'm just too much of an idiot to notice. Did I really do that badly on that course, or was Peach just that much better than me that time? Or are both of them true? Or neither of them true? Or are they half true? I think we still have 1 course, though, so yeah, this one's actually taking a bit longer than the other ones have up until this point. We ended with Donut Plains 3. Holy crap, this course. I think it's the last of... See, as soon as I said I think it's the last of the Donut Plains courses, I swear an image of Donut Plains 4 came to mind. I don't even know if that's a true thing that happens. Can I get out of the water? I can't get out of the water. And I'm still in the water. Yeah, this course... I am not a fan of this course. When I said I didn't like Donut Plains, this is why. This one course. Good lord, this course. Star, nice to have, not very helpful when you're prone to falling in the water like I am. Although I did do a little hop over there to prevent me from falling in the water. But yeah, if you so much as lay a foot off of the grass into the water, forget it. You're done. You're sunk. The water stops you dead, and the water is extremely difficult to move in. So can I get this red shell to hit you? Red shell physics is a lot nicer in this game than it was in 64, where 64 would be extremely difficult to get it to chase after your CPU if it wasn't directly in front of you. In this game, it does kind of path around the track a little bit. It can be finicky at sometimes, and you can potentially wall them, but it is much better than it was in 64, and that I can appreciate, at least when the red shells are not chasing me. But yeah, is it me, or is... Oh, who am I kidding? I did so badly at the start of this race that Peach deserves to beat me. She's not doing any better or worse than she was before, so I should probably... See, I tried to stop accelerating so I can make that turn, but as soon as I stopped my drift, my initial drift, the initial holding of the R button that I did, really screwed up the turn there. If I try to drift into that turn at all, even if it's just a mere hop, my control into that turn is really shot. So I've been working on not drifting into it, but as you can see, it didn't really work out for me too well. And it looks like we just barely scraped first. So I'm happy about that. This is UniversalGiant, and next time, we'll take a look at the Extra Special Cup. That's really what it's called, I'm not kidding. See you then.